Before I begin, let me just say my condolences to Johnny Young Bosch for the unexpected death of his younger brother, Mikey Bosch, who passed away over this past weekend at the age of 43 from cancer. Johnny, you have my condolence. You and your family have my condolences. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the meat and potatoes. First off, Vic Mignogna is back from his trip in Moldova. He was only gone for about 5 days. There was no stream last week due to jet lag and exhaustion on Twitch. But that being said, Vic, welcome home. We missed you. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for many of his woke Twitter mob detractors, who basically went off the handle and threw the trip under the bus. For those who do not believe me, also last night, Vic cut a promo on the people mocking his trip to Europe. Vic, do me a favor, don't do that. You're too pure for that sort of stuff. Leave that to guys like Trent Michaels and myself. That's what we do. Anyway, here's what many of his detractors said. Well, apparently I can't get a hold of these detractors because many of these were blocked. Unless I turned off my account. But if you watch Trent's video, you'll know where I was going to go with this. Many of these individuals who badmouthed it essentially were woke leftist jackasses who use GIP/PIP tactics on their profiles. For those who don't know what GIP/PIP means, it's gender identity or pronoun identity politics, i.e., they want to be referred to as he, she's, him, hers, or thems. Those kinds of people. You could call it either gender identity or pronoun identity politics. Either way, it's basically the same cloth. Either way, it's one and the same. That being said, let's also throw in what they said about it being nothing more than a pity trip and calling Vic a sicko is disgusting. You people all are hypocritical pigs. I mean, what about your little beer belly sharecropper swines you call your heroes? What about Chris Sabat, Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, Sean Schimmel, J. Michael Tatum, Chris Patton, Jason Liebert, Damon Mills, Brina Palencia, Brittany Kabowski, Kara Edwards, Stacey Douglas, Jason Douglas, Chris Rager, Josh Martin. Did any of them bother to try to pull this sort of stuff? No. And even if they did, whether they've been altruistic about it? No. They would have done it for clout, for political points, not because it was the right thing to do. Now, to be fair, I was still against Vic going anyway because I've been going going into that war zone anyway, but not for the reasons you think. For me, the reasons I didn't want him to go was because there's something much deeper going on in the Ukraine. What some are viewing as basically Putin when throwing his way around declaring war on the Ukraine, I see it as him basically cleaning up a massive mess. And that I don't want to get into under risk of getting a misinfo strike. And then, of course, there was the Vic Locks story from 2011. I don't know what the hell the Vic Locks are. And could someone explain, anyone in ISWV, if you're watching this video, explain to me in the comments or go into the live chat and explain it for me. Because I'm confused on this. This was one part of the case I'm not aware of. You know what? I'll just look at it from Trent's video.
Everyone knows to get wireless savings, you need to be on a family plan. Oh,
With Visible, I get unlimited data for as low as $25 a month. No family needed.
I guess I.
You know, it's just like, okay.
This is Trent
I've done
speaking,
it.
not
I've
me in
done
this
everything.
case.
There's possibly nothing else we could talk about. Well, we're going to talk about something new today, and my point is going to be proven on something that I covered in my live stream. I think it was last week. Before we do that, hi. If you don't know who I am, my name is Trent Michaels. Welcome.
But before we get into that, Trent brings up a point that of all the dubbing companies, whether it was Bang Zoom, Sentai, Rooster Teeth, Funimation, now Crunchyroll, Discotek Media, only two ever spoke out in demanding Vic get sacked. Funimation, Rooster Teeth. Though Rooster Teeth did it more business-like, whereas Funimation just threw him out altogether. All over a fucking hit piece put out by a bitch who I've been chomping at the teeth to get my hands on and get some revenge and get a little vengeance against and invoke some of my personal anger against to make her face the wrath of ISWV for what she's done. One of the companies he mentioned that's been keeping quiet was Sentai Filmworks. But Trent, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, or you probably are. There's a reason Sentai has kept a tight lip about it. It's because more than half of their cast, of their voice actors, bounce in between that company and Crunchyroll Entertainment. Don't believe me? Let me run down the list of those individuals that do so off the top of my head. And many of these are Kick Vic, I might want to point out. Monica Rial, Brittany Kerbowski, Chris Patton, Josh Grelly, Greg Ayers, Jason Douglas, John Swayze, Kira Vincent Davis. Granted, John and Kira, as far as I know, are not Kick Vic, but rules still apply. Christine Otten. He may still apply. Same thing with Christine. Jad Saxton. Jamie Markey. Granted, in Jamie's case, she's only been doing it just recent. She only got a role at Sentai rather recently. And yes, even Vic jumped between the companies when he was working there. Because, like many of the names I mentioned, they were part of the ADV Films avant-garde. Even the late Chris Ayers was part of that OG group. Cynthia Martinez was another one. Bob Carter, if I remember correctly, is another one. Did that slip your mind, Trent? I think it did. I mean, who's left amongst the Sentai stalwarts? Jessica Boone, Stephanie Whittles, Hilary Haig, Annie McGavin, Alison Keith, Maggie Flecknoe, Taylor Hanna, Dave Martania, Natalie Hoover, Ben Pronsky, I think. They had Illa Guardiola, but we all know what happened to him back in 2014, and he got sacked, I believe, in 2016. We all remember that one, don't we? And that was back when the companies were willing to work within the confines of the law. Now, they don't give a fuck about the law. They think they're above the law. No one is above the law. What Funimation did to Vic and what they're doing to protect Damon. You betray the law! Am I saying that I am the law? No, I'm not the law. Heck, I prefer to work outside the law to get justice done if I saw fit to do it. I'm a chaotic good individual. I'm a chaotic I stand with Vic, not a lawful or a neutral I stand with Vic. I'm like Trent. We prefer to fly by the seat of our pants, speak our minds, and we don't care what negative backlash we get out of it. And then, considering what Jamie said in 2019 about the Vic locks of 2011, and lying to the court about it, with the video he showed in his live stream, that can be used against Jamie if she gets dragged back in by the appeals court. An appeals court that will not have John P. Chupp on it. Mark my words, he's already been voted out. And that was just before COVID hit. And it doesn't matter if this has to take till 23 or 24 to get back in session. But trust me, what has been happening for the past 3 years, almost 3.5 years now, is sickening. And what's been and the scuttlebutt that's been going around the last month is even worse. I mean, what about the female VAs that Chris Sabat violated? Kara Edwards, Brina Palencia, Colleen Klinkenbeard, Brittany Kabowski, Caitlin Glass, Carrie Savage. Why do many of the Caitlin is pretty much forgiven Vic. Why have many of these women stuck up for the kick and jumped on the kick Vic bandwagon? Because Chris basically holds their damn jobs in their hands. Ladies, grow a backbone and stand up to this devil fucking Zeusian complex shit sold son of a bitch! Hell, even rat him out to Tabitha, to his damn wife, Tabitha Sabat. I would love to see Tabitha finally rip Chris a new asshole, kick him out of the house, and file for a damn divorce and get custody over Hero and Vera, their daughters. I'd actually like that. Heck, I would prefer Tiffany and Stephanie to come back and testify against Sabat in a case where they would sue him for sexual harassment. And for those wondering, I'm referring to Stephanie Nadolny and Tiffany Bowmer, the OG Kid Gohan and Bulma, respectively. The latter of whom hashtag one true Bulma. Because I destroy all the lies and see through the disguise. The rebels will rise. Because I'm the destroyer. I won't be a slave. It's over, and I won't walk away. I will not walk away. This is not the time for the faint of heart. It's time for war. Because the destroyer. I've been justified. Open up my blind eyes. Finally feel fully alive, and there's no way I'll ever surrender. I could ever surrender. They kept me caged and threw away the key, but I burned it down to smoke and embers. I'm willing to face down the enemy and take no prisoners. Unlike the Twitter trolls who slander Vic because they're nothing more than funny rooster puppets, whether they be the actors, the production teams, or the fans of these companies, I am not a pre-programmed robot. The fighters are rising because they refuse to believe the lies. Our rebellion has been going strong for the last 3+ years. Revolution is coming from within. The cabal's gonna fall, and it'll be a dominion of the people, of the righteous, of the true. Should I show up to GalaxyCon, Sabbath? I'm gonna chew you up. I'm gonna spit you out. Just be grateful. I wouldn't kick that. Should I go to that con at the end of July? That I'm not going to kick your teeth down your throat because I think blasting you with the laundry list of your adulterous behavior is more than enough to get under your skin. And to call you out as a hypocrite for not wanting to sack Damon Mills because he's so deep in the inner circle. Damon doesn't even make a good Frieza, in my opinion. In my opinion, three individuals are far superior Friezas. Linda Young, Derek Stephen Prince, and the late, great Christopher Owen Ayers. People who go to cons do not give your money or your memorabilia to scumbags like Monica, Jamie, Sabat, DC Douglas, Sean Schimmel, John Michael Tatum, Chris Patton, etc., because they don't give a damn about you. They had the blueprint to being more successful than anyone with the way Vic treats us, treating us like actual people, like friends, like family, like we're part of his inner circle. And they threw it away because what do they see us as? Nothing more than paychecks, nothing more than money to be slipped into their pockets. Now, not all of them do that, I'll admit. But my point still applies. As for you, Mars Girl, people see what kind of person you are. Nothing more than a petty little squatter. Nothing more than a petty little bitch who cries wolf. Who are you going to target next? Johnny? In his moment of weakness? The fact he's grieving over the death of his brother? And you'll call him a pedophile and it would get him fired? That wouldn't work. Because then not only would you have the anime fan base breathing down your neck, you'd have the Power Rangers community coming after your head. And given how often you've targeted me, you know full well I'd be coming with a blade, with your head, coming at you with a bullet, figuratively, with your name written all over it. To pierce your black heart. I stand with Vic. Now then, forever. Leave a comment when this video comes up. Smash the like, sub to the channel. For now, I'm done. This is Mets2128 signing out. Welcome home, Vic. Rest in peace, Mike Bosch. Goodbye and good night. Bang.